The first thing you hear on the body cam footage is a deputy asking who's involved in the crash. A bystander who pulled over to help answers with 2 words that changed the entire tone of the video. It's Tiger Woods. The deputy pauses, then responds, "Oh, all right." And from that moment forward, you're watching something you never wanted to see, the greatest golfer who ever lived. Kneeling on the side of a road in Jupiter Island, Florida, next to his overturned SUV, hiccuping through a field sobriety test, with 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket and a breathalyzer that blew triple zeros. No alcohol, just pills. Just impairment. Just a 15-time major champion being placed in handcuffs for the second time in 9 years. And this time, the whole thing is on camera. The footage was released on April 2nd, 2026 by the Martin County Sheriff's Office. It was first published by TMZ, and within hours it was everywhere. Court TV, ABC News, Fox News, NBC Miami, every sports outlet on the planet. And what it shows is not dramatic. It's not explosive. It's not a celebrity meltdown or a high-speed chase or a screaming match with officers. It's quiet. It's slow. It's sad. And that's what makes it so hard to watch. Here's what happened. On Friday, March 27th, 2026, Tiger Woods was driving his 2025 Land Rover Range Rover along a narrow road on Jupiter Island, Florida, a wealthy barrier island where Woods has lived for years. According to the Martin County Sheriff's Office arrest affidavit, Woods attempted to go around a pickup truck that was pulling a trailer. He misjudged the pass, clipped the trailer, lost control of the SUV, and flipped it onto its driver's side. The crash happened fast. Woods later told the responding deputy exactly what occurred. "I looked down at my phone, about ready to change the radio station, and all of a sudden, boom." That one-word boom became the soundbite that every outlet led with. It was simple. It was honest. And it was devastating, because boom meant that one of the most disciplined athletes in the history of sport wasn't paying attention to the road. He was looking at his phone. And in that split second of distraction, his car was on its side, and his life was about to get significantly more complicated. When deputies arrived at the scene, Woods had already climbed out of the overturned SUV through the passenger side door. Neither he nor the driver of the pickup truck were physically injured. The crash itself could have ended right there, a fender bender, an insurance claim, a bad afternoon. But when deputies started talking to Woods, they noticed something was wrong. According to the arrest affidavit, the responding deputy observed several signs of impairment during the initial conversation. Woods' eyes were described as bloodshot and glassy and extremely dilated. He appeared lethargic and slow. He was sweating. He was hiccuping repeatedly, a detail that becomes painfully visible in the body cam footage during the field sobriety test. Officers noted that despite these signs of impairment, Woods was also extremely alert during parts of the conversation, creating a contradiction that suggested he was under the influence of something other than alcohol. A DUI investigation was initiated. A female deputy conducted the field sobriety test at the scene. The body cam footage shows Woods attempting the standard roadside exercises, the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, the walk and turn, the one-leg stand. He struggled. He hiccuped throughout. He swayed. He looked exhausted. At the end of the test, the deputy informed Woods that she believed his normal faculties are impaired due to an unknown substance. She placed him in handcuffs. Woods' reaction was captured perfectly on camera. He looked genuinely confused. He said, "I'm being arrested?" The surprise in his voice was real. Whether he didn't understand how impaired he appeared, or whether he genuinely believed the field sobriety test had gone better than it did, or whether he simply couldn't process the idea that Tiger Woods was being arrested again, the shock was visible. He wasn't belligerent. He wasn't hostile. He was bewildered. And then he was in handcuffs. As officers searched him before placing him in the patrol car, the body cam captured them going through his pockets. They found lip balm. They found his wallet. And they found 2 pills that were later identified as hydrocodone, a powerful opioid painkiller. The discovery of those pills, combined with the impairment signs and the crash, painted a picture that went far beyond a traffic accident. This was a man who appeared to be driving under the influence of prescription medication, and this was not the first time. In May 2017, Woods was arrested for DUI in Jupiter, Florida, after police found him asleep behind the wheel of his car on the side of the road with the engine running. That arrest also involved prescription medications. A toxicology report showed the presence of multiple substances, including hydrocodone, hydromorphone, alprazolam, zolpidem, and Thc. Woods said at the time that he'd had an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications. He entered a diversion program, and the charges were eventually resolved. He never served jail time. He said he'd learned his lesson. 9 years later, the lesson apparently didn't stick. Same state, same substance category, same impairment, same handcuffs. The only difference is that this time, the car was flipped on its side and the body cam was rolling. After being arrested, Woods was transported to Martin County Jail. He agreed to take a breathalyzer test, which came back at .00000. No alcohol in his system whatsoever. But when deputies requested a urine sample, Woods refused. Under Florida's implied consent law, refusing a lawful test carries its own penalties, including potential license suspension. The refusal was added to his charges. Woods was booked and charged with 2 counts DUI with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. He posted bond and was released. His mugshot was published within hours. And unlike the smiling Jay Cutler mugshot that went viral the year before, Woods' booking photo showed a man who looked exhausted, deflated, and aware that the magnitude of what had just happened was going to follow him for a very long time. Additional body cam footage from the patrol car showed Woods sitting in the back seat after his arrest. He was sweating. His eyes were intermittently closing. He was hiccuping. And at one point, in a moment of dark humor that only someone who has been through this before could produce, he looked around the inside of the squad car and said 3 words, "This is fun." The sarcasm was unmistakable. The sadness underneath it was even more so. Woods pleaded not guilty to both charges. His attorney issued a statement saying Tiger was focused on his recovery and his family and asked for privacy. Within days of the arrest, Woods announced that he was seeking treatment for what he called personal issues. He entered a comprehensive inpatient program and received judicial approval to travel abroad for the treatment, citing a need to prioritize his long-term recovery and personal well-being. He also removed himself from consideration for the captainship of the 2027 United States Ryder Cup team, a role he had been widely expected to fill, and one that would have been a crowning achievement in his transition from player to leader. The Ryder Cup withdrawal hit the golf world hard. It was a signal that whatever Woods was dealing with was serious enough to walk away from one of the most prestigious honors in the sport. It wasn't just a legal problem. It wasn't just a PR crisis. It was a health crisis. And for the first time since his 2017 arrest, Woods was publicly acknowledging that he needed help in a way that went beyond a press release. This is Tiger Woods' second DUI arrest. It's his second time being found impaired behind the wheel due to prescription medications. It's his second time being handcuffed and booked into a Florida jail. And it comes just 3 years after his catastrophic 2021 car crash in Los Angeles, where he shattered his right leg and nearly lost it entirely. The 2021 crash was attributed to excessive speed. Woods was traveling between 84 and 87 miles per hour in a 45 zone, and no impairment was alleged at the time. But the injury from that crash changed his life. The surgeries, the rehabilitation, the chronic pain, the prescription medications that manage that pain, and the risk that comes with those medications every single time he gets behind the wheel. The case is still pending. Woods has pleaded not guilty. He is currently in treatment. And the body cam footage is now public record, a permanent document of the worst day in a life that has had far too many of them. Drop a comment and let us know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.